Yo, hit him. You got something to say?
No, no, no. You get it. You do it. Do it. Do it.
Yo, no, you do it. Yo, you got it. Yo, say it. Yo, do your thing.
All right. Welcome to Broken Place today, bro.
Yo, Jaylon, just a question for you. It's not as fun because Perry's not here. Who are the NBA champions?
Beantown, baby.
Okay, so it's still that way, huh?
My
Yo,
Celtics, yes,
the
sir.
the NBA offseason has been popping off. You know, like every offseason, it's full of drama and stuff. Let's dive right into it. Hatham, who are your top four teams in each conference based off the moves that they have made since the start of free agency? Today
Like,
is July 4th. Just to preface that, because things are going to change when this gets posted. So, who are your top teams in each conference?
my top teams. Okay, so my top teams in the East will be Boston didn't make any moves, but they're still number one because of the
Yep.
champs. And then I have the 76ers over the Knicks right
Mm-hmm.
now. And then I have the Orlando Magic. I think as adding KCP is a very good addition for them. They ended up fifth last year. I think both their young guys will have good development, but KCP brings like shooting that they didn't have on the wing position and like a championship pedigree. In the West, I have OKC still first because I think they added a lot of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think adding Hartenstein and
Hartenstein, yeah.
Caruso just fills in all their gaps. And then who else is there? I have the Wolves. I think they're still going to be good. They're a good regular season team. And then I'll have the Dallas Mavericks. And then my final team will be the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they'll be the fourth team in the West. I think they had a down year last year, but I think they'll come back and they'll just show everybody that they're good.
They barely had an NBA roster last year. It was more than a down year.
Yeah.
It was more than a Ja Morant out, Desmond Bain out. Yo, I couldn't name you like who played. Like Jalen, do you know who played last year on Memphis?
I just remember the Jake LaRavia guy.
Yeah, like literally, there was like
And
no one.
Scottie
Williams.
Pippen.
Yeah, yeah, see, there we go.
Yeah. Before you go, I'll quickly give you guys my opinion. In the East, I pretty much agree with you. I have a bit of changes though. My one and two is the same as you. I think the Celtics are still there. They're the team to beat. I think that the moves that Philly made puts them close, sir. But the problem with Philly, as we always talk about, and this is the one thing that Jalen, you always talk about when we mention the 76ers, if Joel Embiid stays healthy, it could be something. If there's that big if, Joel Embiid's never healthy, you know? So that team runs on Joel Embiid. They have the pieces to do something. But if Joel Embiid can't stay healthy through a season and in the postseason, they are not going to win. But in the regular season, if healthy, I think that they are right up there. I have the I still have the Bucks up there. I think the Bucks are still going to be a good regular season team. Healthy, I think that they're going to be there. Playoffs and their defense are still a question, but I still have them up there. And I put the Pacers over the Knicks. I think the Pacers still have it. I put the Pacers over the Knicks just like slightly. I For me it's like a toss up between the two.
Are you a Knicks fan? Aren't you a Knicks fan?
I was a Knicks fan. You know when Melo was there? When Melo was there.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay,
all
okay,
about the Knicks
okay.
tape. What's about the Knicks tape?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
But like yeah,
crazy.
like
I'm
that's what I think.
back.
And then I have Orlando in that mix of like those are my top six, and I think everyone else is competing for seven and eight. I think that that's what's up, and I think Miami should get in there, depending on what moves they do. So that's my East. My West is pretty on par with you. I think OKC um, got way better. They should get number one spot again. Minnesota, good regular season team, as you mentioned, hate them. I wanted to put Denver there, but I can't because they lost KCP and they haven't replaced him yet. So I don't know what Denver is looking like. And I do like what Dallas did by getting Clay, getting another splash brother who can play defense. And then you'll have your 1, 2, and 3 as Luca, Kyrie, and Clay. I think that that's going to be very deadly. So I would go with that for my East and West. Jalen, what you got?
Yeah, for the East, I have obviously the Boston Celtics. I think even though they didn't do much in free agency, they're still NBA champions. They still got the same guys coming back. So I think that's super important for them to try and repeat. What's crazy is that their starting five costs $1 billion. That's wild. So you got two $300 contracts. I think Jason Tatum kicks in next year. Next year, if I'm not mistaken. But the starting five costs $1 billion. That's crazy. I think Boston re-signing Xavier Tillman was also an under the radar important move for them. It allows them to have a little bit more flexibility to go small ball and be more versatile in their lineup changes, like the way Joe Mazzulla likes. I have them first. I actually have the Knicks second. I think the Knicks are. The loss of Isaiah Hartenstein is big, but I think can be replaced. I just think that the Knicks, they got more scoring. They got another guy who can create his own shot, re-signing OG Anunoby. They can go small ball. They can go big with Mitchell Robinson or Jericho Sims. Now they're going to allow Jericho Sims to fully develop. He doesn't have to play behind Hartenstein. And Mitchell Robinson, he can be the backup center. I think the Knicks are going to look really good. And the chemistry is going to be off the charts. Obviously, they're all Villanova guys. They have that podcast together. They have a deeper understanding of how each other play and can play off each other. So I have the Knicks second. Third, I actually have the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that this offseason for them to get healthy, Giannis to get healthy, to come back better, they just added Torian Prince, as I found out this morning, which I think, Torian Prince can be a valuable asset to a team with the shooting and the defense, which is something that the Milwaukee Bucks struggled with. So I think that, Milwaukee will be the third team in the top three. I will never ever trust a team that Joel Embiid is on, yet alone a team that Paul George is on. So I have the Sixers going, fourth, fifth, sixth, and this is a guy who loves Tyrese Maxey. That's my guy from Kentucky. But that's my East. In the West, I have Oklahoma City first. Obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, those are great additions. You add more experience. And you add a veteran presence in those two players, but they also gain more experience because they got to the second round of the playoffs. It will be playing in the Olympics. My only sort of worry is Shea playing too much basketball, if that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's able to stay healthy. Knock on wood. And then second, I actually have the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are who I have second. And I think it's mostly because of the addition of Klay Thompson, getting him for the contract that they did, and still having some flexibility to go out and get more. I think is a significant deal, and I think is a significant thing to do. You upgrade your shooting. You got rid of Tim Hardaway Jr. You have more cap flexibility now, especially for the trade deadline that comes up. And obviously you lose the defensive downgrade when you let Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. walk, but you upgrade it with Klay, and then third. Who do I have down as third? I have the Pelicans. Third. I think DeJounte Murray, them getting an actual point guard, somebody who could actually score from the point guard position and really set up the offense. I think that's going to be absolutely huge for them. So I think it's going to be able to get the best out of Zion. You got rid of Jonas Valanciunas. Good Lord, have mercy. Riley McLean 2.0. Thank the Lord. So I think the Pelicans will really flourish this year.
You have one more.
No, it's like OKC, Dallas, and Pelicans.
It's four.
Yeah, 4.
I only give 3 for the East.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fourth, I'll go Kings. I think they'll come back strong. Inshallah, man.
Crazy.
For Hatham.
Yo,
They have no big though. I was gonna tell you they have no big for the Pelicans.
Ooh,
Pelicans have 0 bigs.
bro, that's fine. It is what it is.
this guy doesn't even change his
Like,
answer. He's like, yo, I'm doubling down, yo.
yeah,
Um,
I'm saying no
Yo,
business.
it's kind of funny, and I know Jalen uh, had to put this team in like past years on a pedestal, even though he didn't want to. But like, the team's kind of broken up now. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors. Um, Yo, Jalen, wipe that smile off your face. Klay Thompson is gone. They got rid of Chris Paul. That project didn't really work out.
Shocker.
But yo, before I get into the question, The Spurs getting Chris Paul, smart move. He's gonna be with Greg Popovich, a point guard for Wemby. I think that that is a smart move. And where Chris Paul is in his career, I do think that that is a smart move for his career as well. The Golden State thing didn't work out. And Jalen, I know you were very critical of it. I know you're very critical of Golden State, but the whole time you're like, I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think this is going to, and evidently it didn't work out. But we were talking about the Warriors as this team, this great dynasty team, and it finally feels like the dynasty is over. I think we could say the dynasty is over. They're like in a retool right now. They're not even letting Andrew Wiggins play for Team Canada because they're scared he might get injured, and that would trade down his trade value. That's shoo. Let's that shoo
Yeah,
actually
call him by his
worked.
name. Call him by his name. Shoo shoo.
Shoo
Shoo.
shoo.
So for context, last episode Hatham said shoo when we were talking about Team Canada and Andrew Wiggins, and then like literally not even 2 hours later, it comes out that the Golden State Warriors won't let Andrew Wiggins play. So he really is shoo, which is
Right.
hilarious. We could talk about that later. But yo, Jalon, how great was this team's run, and will Steph and Draymond be able to get back to championship status, or just playoff status, or none?
I mean, the Golden State Warriors run. It was they had obviously a season where they were 73-9. Best regular season. Blew a 3-1 lead. Let's not forget that. And then obviously they had the three championships that they won. Two of them with Kevin Durant, where they had the the deck stacked. But it was generational. It was one of the best teams to ever play. They kind of not reinvented basketball, but changed the way the game is played. I'll start with Mark Jackson. I want to make sure that I give credit to um, who started that process. You got the best out of Clay and Clay and Steph, and then they fine tuned it when Steve Kerr came in, and it kind of took off. So the run was generational in my opinion for Golden State, and then to do it again, several years later after everybody saying, including me, that they would fall off a lot sooner than they did. It is crazy to think. I think that um, it's important to mention as well. They did get away with a lot in terms of all I remember from the Golden State era. Not all I remember. The one thing I remember from the Golden State era is all the moving screens from Andrew
Oh,
Bogut, David Lee, Draymond Green. Like they turned into. I wasn't sure if it was
the
the
Marcus Smart
Pittsburgh
one.
Steelers.
Remember that
Yeah.
one?
I wasn't sure if it was the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line or the Golden State starting five. But all that to say, the run was generational. I think that also it's important to mention the competency of the regime. Before Mike Dunleavy came in, so the Bob Myers and what's his name, Joe Lacob. I think two of the best front office executives we've seen in a long, long time, in an era where things change so quick and you have to like you're expected to turn over a championship team like basically every year, and for him to stay to kind of weather the storm of Steph going down for the season, Clay going down for the season, being patient and not trading them and moving on earlier than they needed to then to come back and win a championship. I think that's something to be mentioned in terms of their competency and their abilities as executives. I think I'm happy that the Golden State era is done. I hope they go to the basement of the NBA again, and they're there for a long, long time. But it is something. It was a generational run for them to get back to where they were. I know they were trying to add Paul George. People were mad at Paul George. Sorry, at the Clippers for not accepting the trade. But why would you strengthen a direct rival? Makes no sense to me. So I think they did the right thing in waiting and just letting him walk. But yeah, it's the end of an era for real. Curry's what, 36, 37?
36.
Yeah, 36, I think. So he ain't got much time left. I'm sure he's going to retire within the next 5 years. Draymond, the market is shrinking. Sorry, his time is shrinking, and his value is shrinking in the league. Yeah, man.
I was trying to
What
show
about
this
you, Hatham?
video. I'll piggyback on a lot of JL's statements. I think the Golden State Warriors dynasty, I don't think it's necessarily done as long as you have Steph Curry and Draymond Green. I think next season, if a Gruntled star wants to be wants to get out, they have all the tools to give. They have young pieces, they have big contracts, they have all their picks. So
Mhm.
let's say next year if KD wants out, are they right back in it? I think so, with KD on it. I think this year is going to be a down year.
Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis. I don't know if Giannis will be. I think KD will be available, and I think they have the more than enough picks to do it. Like if they give Andrew Wiggins. I saw Draymond Green's podcast about the not getting Paul George and him crying, but then there's another trade that they could have got Zach LaVine. So like you could have got a nice player, but it's like, oh, you want the player you want. I think the Dallas Mavericks in 2000 and when did KD go there? 2016? They should have done that too. Remember the Bogut contract? They need to
Mhm.
trade the Bogut contract and something else. Everybody should have blocked that from happening. I get he's like crying about PG not going there, but it's like you can't have all the players you want. The Clippers did what was right by them. Now they
Mhm.
had enough cap room to sign players. They're not over the apron. So it was a really good run, but I don't think it's done just yet. As long as you have Steph Curry, unless Steph Curry wants to ask out, like if he goes on Team USA and like someone recruits him. But I don't know if I see Steph Curry leaving Golden State. Yeah.
But the market would be nice for Steph Curry because like he can shoot, right? And as we mentioned numerous times, you don't lose that ability, right? That's why Clay to the Mavs is going to be good. And I also think Clay just needed a fucking new scenery, right? There were some things that happened last season, like when he was coming off the bench that he wasn't happy about, and like it just didn't feel like the Splash Brothers no more. I don't know if you guys got that feeling too. It just like something was missing in Golden State and something wasn't working. So it's low key sad to see like a dynasty like that break up, but at the same time, yo, I'm ready for some new dogs to come in and do something, right? Like I'm loving what I'm seeing from OKC. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Minnesota. You know what I mean? The Orlando Magic. Like when the hell would we be talking about the Orlando Magic? You know what I'm saying?
I called it, my guy Paolo Banquero.
You know what? There's one thing that I do want to bring up, and Jalen, this is just for you. This is literally just for you. The Detroit Pistons get Tobias Harris. Yo,
Can I say? Can I
yo,
say? Can I say something? Can I say
yo,
something?
they're going for like 30 wins, huh? Yo,
Can
go
I say
ahead.
something?
Yeah.
Very. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's been an agent that's been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bias Harris's agent should be the first one.
Yeah, did you
He
see
should
the
be.
stat?
He should be
Did,
in the NBA Hall of Fame. He's gotten Tobias Harris like $300 million over his career.
yeah, but did you see how much less he is from Clay on his
Yeah,
earnings? It's like $17 million difference kind of thing.
like Clay's making $17 million less.
More.
More. But
Yeah,
like
just
Clay, like
17.
yeah, but I hate them is like basically saying like, yo, Clay, Tobias. You know what I'm saying? 17 million.
The
That's
o- the
not enough of a gap.
the only award he almost won was I think in 2020 or something. He was eighth on the all-time and like most improved player.
It's we've never seen an agent work like this, man.
Eighth.
Whatever he's saying to these
But
execs or these
Yo, eighth.
GMs,
Most
but
improved eighth.
but also let's be realistic. He's in the perfect timing in his like in the NBA where it's 3 and D is kind of like a commodity. So it's
yeah,
like his skill set is just like the perfect skill set for this league. You know what I mean? Like a 6'9" kind of defender that can shoot threes. But yeah, I don't know how
But
he
yo,
gets all this money.
but if you're going to like the Pistons with the way the Pistons are, you know your career's over. Like you're
No.
going there to you're going there to take the money and like shit's done.
How old is Tobias Harris? I think he's like 31, no?
He's that young?
Yeah, Tobias Harris is young, bro.
yeah. I think he's in his early 30s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's 31.
he's 31. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, his
he's
birthday is
young.
actually July 15th.
Oh, that's
Oh, happy
crazy.
birthday! Look at a nice birthday present. Wallahi, fam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
J. Cole, Jermaine.
Jermaine.
Yo, so let's talk about two teams this week. You know, it's off season. We have a lot of time. We can go through different teams. I thought this week it would be interesting to talk about the Spurs and the Atlanta Hawks. For the Spurs, I'm just gonna reiterate what I said off the top. I think the Spurs are headed in the right direction with Wemby. I think getting Chris Paul, proven point guard, will help with Wemby and help with just having someone who's a true leader. on that roster, especially with a mastermind coach like Greg Popovich. Do I think that they can make the playoffs? Maybe the play-in, but like, yo, the West is tough. The West is tough, so it's going to be hard because like you still have teams like Denver and stuff who are going to be in the mix. The Kings, like Jalen mentioned, the Grizzlies are going to be back. It's even going to be tough for the Lakers. You know what I mean? So maybe a playing game, but it's a step in the right direction. I think the Spurs will be back there soon with building around Wemby, but it's gonna just take a little more time. As with the Atlanta Hawks, I can't say that I know where this team is going. There was that one year where we thought the Atlanta Hawks were going to be one of the better teams. I know they made it to the conference finals randomly, but like their roster kind of looks depleted, and I don't see them even making the play-in. Right now, I'm looking at their depth chart, and it's Trae Young, Bogdan Bogdanovic, the guy from France, Zachary, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella. That doesn't really scream playoff team. So I think Atlanta has regressed over the years, especially after that year that they made that improbable run to the conference finals. So I think that they have a lot of work to do. And I don't think that they're going to be in the mix when we're talking even about playing games. Haitham, how do you feel about Spurs and Hawks?
Yo, are you an Atlanta fan?
No?
Okay, I'm just wondering, just asking. The Spurs, I think getting Chris Paul is a really good addition for their team. I remember seeing a bunch of highlights of guards just missing Wimby on like open passes, like stupid things. You know what I mean? They had what's his name? What's that guy with the other French guy that shoots with one
Jer-
hand?
Jeremy Sochan. Sochan?
Yeah, Jeremy Sochan. They had him bringing up the ball. Like they had so many different experiences. They were just trying to tank this year. Let's be realistic. They didn't care. I think they should have adding Chris Paul, but I think they should have added another veteran, like maybe a big man or someone else to just kind of help Wimby in the paint. Because Wimby's kind of like a four. He's a five, but not like he's not really.
Five
You know
in
what?
size, but not the way he plays.
Yeah, not the way he plays. Like he's better as like a help rim protector than
Hmm.
playing the bigs, you know. Also, I think another three would have been really good, like a veteran three, just for the development of Vassell. I think Vassell's a really good player, but I think he
Who?
likes Devin Vassell.
I heard Lascelles. I was
Oh
like, who?
no, no, Devin Vassell. I think he
Okay.
takes a lot of like he overshoots a 3-point shot a little bit too
Hmm.
much. Like he just settles for 3-point jumpers when he can get to the rim very easily or take the mid. So someone like I don't know, like if they could have got like someone like if Carmelo was still playing, that would have been a perfect like vet to kind of teach him on how to do certain things, you know, how to get to his spots, how to not overly shoot the ball. Not helping with defense though, like Melo's a trash defender. But anyways, the Hawks, Lord knows what those guys are trying to do, bro. Like
Yo,
just
for real.
bro, as soon as the Hawks, like everybody's talking about this nepotism that's going on about LeBron James and shit. Did you guys know that the Hawks owner, when he bought the team, he put his son into basketball operations, and that's why like the Hawks have been a horrible franchise since like they made the Eastern Conference Finals. They put their son in. Their son was like, "Yo, I want Murray. Trade for him." The GM that was operating, he said, "Yo, I'm out. Fuck this, bro." So it's like one of those things where I think owners should just get out of the way. Like, don't put your son in position, bro. Just let him have like some little say, but not too much. I think they should just blow it up and just start with what's that power forward?
John Collins or Anyeka?
Uh, whoever his name is. He went off. I think Quab said his name. Jalen Johnson or something, or Jalen something.
Oh, he's a small forward, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Him and the rookie you have, and just trade everybody else. Oh, and Okongo. You just have those three
Anyeka
guys.
Okongwu, yeah.
Yeah, they're a horrible franchise.
Yo, point blank. Horrible franchise. Yo, Jelon, what you got?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what Hayden said. I think the Spurs are in a really good position, especially bringing in Chris Paul, bringing in somebody who's actually not. The one thing Chris Paul isn't is blind, and he is a willing passer and willing to get the star players the basketball.
Can you
Sometimes a
repeat
little bit
that?
too much.
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you. You're
I'm not
giving Chris
repeating.
Paul praise.
I'm not repeating.
That is the
But
nicest thing that you have ever said about Chris Paul.
you
And
know
for
what? I
all
take
the
it
Chris
back. Fuck
Paul
Chris Paul.
fans,
No, I'm playing. I'm
I, I,
playing.
I stand on behalf of all the Chris Paul stands, and they thank you for finally realizing that there is some good in Chris Paul. Um, yeah.
Well, yeah. So I think he overpasses almost to a fault.
Okay, you see, he has to
Um,
force
yeah,
Hatem. You see
yeah.
this?
See, you niggas
Yo, he
ruined it.
has to
You niggas
force
ruined
in
it.
a diss.
How many minutes do you think he plays?
He probably play around 25, 28. Like he's on his last leg, so he's not a guy that's playing 40 minutes. They have a couple of young guards who I think are going to be good players in the NBA. Branham is a guy who that I really like. They still have Devontae Graham, um, and who's the other buddy?
They have Trey
Um,
Jones.
Trey Jones. That's one from Duke. That's what I'm thinking of.
Those are
That's the
all
Duke one?
those are all rope. Yeah, yeah, but he doesn't play that
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
No, no, but I'm saying like they're going to be good players in the league. So I think it's important this year for them to develop, especially playing with Wemby, and it's going to be good to see what the Spurs do because once those guys develop, then you got to decide, okay, who are we paying, who are we getting rid of, and if they can't learn from Chris Paul, you got to move on from them. So I think that Spurs in a really good place. Wemby's going to see a lot of the ball, which is only going to help his development. Obviously, he's learning from Tim Duncan and the player coaches that they got there, and obviously playing under Greg Popovich is only going to continue to grow. So the Spurs, they're obviously not going to make the playoffs. Like best case scenario, they make the play-in. Highly unlikely, but in the next couple years, the Spurs will be making moves, and they'll be making the playoffs, and Wemby will start to dominate the league. I don't know why we're talking about the Atlanta Hawks. To be honest, like feel free to throw that franchise out, fam. It's I'm not even sure how do you get to the conference finals and then you don't touch playoffs since
No, they've touched
that.
the playoffs. I thought they
Okay,
have.
but they
No,
didn't win games. You know what I mean? Like they got one against Boston, no playoffs, no playoffs, no playoffs. So it's like to me, it's what are you doing? I didn't know the thing about the Sun being in the front office. I didn't know about that, but that makes a lot of sense. That makes
yeah,
a
the
lot of
get.
sense because we said from time DeJounte and Trey Young not going to work, and they still pull that trigger. But it
Oh,
is
and
what
the
it
Spurs
is.
have their picks, bro. That's
All of them.
crazy. They have like three of their picks.
Yeah. So I think that which is another reason the Spurs are in a very very good position. You could wait out for maybe a Cooper Flag, maybe
No,
Captain Jack from North Carolina. I think he's going to be a stud. Um,
what's
but
that guy? What's on the Bahamas team? So I just saw a video of him. He's like a 5-star recruit. I don't know if you saw him, anyways.
no,
Regardless,
I
I'll
didn't
send
see
you the
him.
video. Yeah.
But I think the Atlanta Hawks they got to blow it up. And I've been saying since last year they should blow it up. They should have moved on from Trey Young at the trade deadline. Obviously, they moved on from Dejounte Murray a little bit too late. But I don't understand how you got back Larry Nance like for Dejounte Murray. Am I the only one bugging? Like
No, they
Larry
should have
Nance is
got.
the player,
No, yo,
They
I
should.
saw that. I saw that, and I closed the app.
bro. Like what are they doing in negotiations? You know what I mean? Like what's the conversation to get Larry Nance?
I
Yo,
think
very nice.
they wanted Herb Jones. Like I know they wanted Herb Jones badly. And the Pelicans were like, nah. They're like, okay, we'll take Larry Nance. Those
That's
are the negotiations.
in, That's incredible. It's kind of like impressive how bad this front office is. But I digress. I think that the Hawks they just got to blow it up, like Hatham said. Start fresh with Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Kongwu. You got to move on from Bogdanovich. You got to move on from DeAndre Hunter, Trey Young, all those older guys who were part of that run. It's time to go. See if you can't get some draft picks, some good young pieces for them. Yeah, you're going to be in the basement of the East, but what's changed? You're already there.
Yo, so I know Hatham, you gotta leave. So right before you leave, and right before we end the show, quickly, I need everyone to give me their top five starting lineup. But we have to like list off every position. So it has to be point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. With this year's NBA.
Top five for each position.
Oh no, like your starting five. Sorry,
Oh, my
not top five.
starting five.
Five, but it has to be positional. You can't just add 3 point guards on
Oh,
your roster. You have to have one of each position. Then let's start with you. What's your starting five?
I got. Hey, I'm gonna go Devin Booker, even though
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Ant, but I'll go Devin Booker. A small forward, I will probably go. You know what? I'll skip the small forward position. I'll go to the power forward position. I'll go Wimby. and then I'll go. Remember the center position, I'll go Embiid, and then now the small forward. I'm probably just gonna say Jalen Brown, just because
Is
he's
everybody healthy?
Yeah, everyone's healthy. Everyone is like
yeah,
100% healthy.
yeah.
Okay.
That's my starting five.
What you got, Jalen?
I'm gonna go Steph Curry. Now I'm playing. I'm gonna go Shea
Yep.
at my one. I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards at my two.
Yep, I'm playing with
I'm
you so
gonna
far.
go Jason Tatum at my three.
He's a four.
Is this my list or your list?
I'm just letting you know based off his projections
Bro,
starting
I see
lineup.
on ESPN small forward. That's a small forward to me, fam.
That's crazy, bro. Okay.
Jason Tatum at my three. I'm gonna go Giannis Antetokounmpo at my four, and I'm gonna go Nikola Jokic at my five.
Say, well, he said Nikola Jokic. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't hate him no more, bro. There's no hate in my heart anymore, fam.
Why? Wait, why don't you hate him?
Bro,
Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's hilarious, fam. The way he was dogging the Lakers, I can't hate that, bro.
Wait, the way he was what?
The way he was dogging the Lakers, bro, the last 2 years. That's my guy. That's my guy, bro. Yo, this guy was assaulting LA,
Yeah.
fam. Yo, this shit was hilarious.
Yo, Jalen, I pretty much agree with you. But I'm just gonna change the small forward position, and I'll put Jalen Brown just because of like even what Hatham said,
what's up?
like the way like Jason Tatum's kind of listed as a power forward, so I'll take Giannis over him at the power forward, but I'll put
Mhm.
Jalen Brown at the three, and I'll
Okay.
have the same list as you. I don't think you can pick. I don't really think you can pick anyone but Joker. Maybe Embiid if healthy, but I don't know, the way Joker be playing is dope. But that's the end of Broken Plays. Nice quick episode for your off-season talks. We'll be back next week.
Shoo shoo.
Mamba out.